Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome back. Thank you all for joining us again. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the day 2 of Sustainable Fashion of Lakmé Fashion Week's Digital First Season Fluid Edition. We're all here to know more about the Talisman collection that we just witnessed by designers Pankaj and Nidhi, presented by Reliance Industries Limited, R-Elan. Joining us today are Mr. Gunjan Sharma, CMO, Petchem Division, Reliance Industries Limited, and the designer duo themselves, Pankaj and Nidhi. I'd like to first congratulate Mr. Sharma for yet another successful partnership and, as always, for enabling the talented designers to bring to the fore the best of sustainable fashion. Mr. Sharma, it's so good to have you back here. Could you talk a little bit about R-Elan's commitment of working with the talented designers at Lakmé Fashion Week season on season?
We are fully committed to promote. We are promoting, and we are fully committed to promote the fashion aspects, combining them with sustainability, functionality, and also lending now and adding wellness to that actually. So, and in fact, this collection also that you've seen from Pankaj and Nidhi, this beautifully blends all three aspects in fact together. So this is a combination of sustainability, comfort, aesthetics, and they've also added wellness into it because that is what the situation today demands. So my compliments to Pankaj and Nidhi for evolving, for working out this beautiful collection. And like I mentioned, from an R-Elan perspective, we have been working on this and we are fully committed to ensure that all these meaningful combinations are built in the fabrics and they are actually taken forward to the fashion and the fashion conscious customers and all the consumers.
I'd like now to shine the spotlight on our designers this evening. Pankaj, Nidhi, congratulations on this fabulous showcase. Pankaj, Nidhi, Talisman is all about comfort wear at home, work on holiday. Tell us how and rather when did the thought about this collection develop?
So we were very excited and honored actually to collaborate with R-Elan for a second time this year. From our earlier collaboration, it was like opening a treasure box, to discover these technologically such advanced fabrics that we use them not just in our shows, but we also took them into our main lines and we started using them to make more collections, more fabrics. So the collaboration was that much more meaningful because not only did it give birth to a one show at that time, but it also started getting used in our main lines and our commercial lines. And we've been using in all these months, we had the lockdown, and since the lockdown opened, we started using their fabrics and our customers started liking it very much. And this time around, when the opportunity to collaborate came by again, we were just very excited because for us as designers, 80% of the garment is the textile, it's the fabric. We can embellish it, we can print it, we can color it, but the fabric has to feel good to the wearer. And right now, as Mr. Gunjan rightly said, that it's all about feeling good, feeling well. Nothing is more important in people's minds. And with these kind of fabrics, which keep the wearer feeling fresh, their antimicrobial properties, antiperspirant, they help the wearer feeling and remaining fresh for as long as they've got it on. So the idea was to try and design a collection which not only looked good from the outside, but also felt fantastic on the inside.
Could you also elaborate on how was it like working with these R-Elan fabrics for this collection?
Actually, it is a really wonderful feeling to know that the fabric that you're using is sourced in such an ethical manner, the green gold fabric which R-Elan makes. This is something truly eye-opening for us. They have this ethical channel of sourcing thousands and thousands of bottles, PET bottles, which is processed into this most beautiful fabric that feels like cotton silk, actually, like a blend of silk and cotton. And we have, we made this scarf and we've been sending it across wherever we have been talking about the fabric. We want people to feel the fabric, that you just see how it really feels and how lovely it feels when you wear it. And there's chiffon, which falls exactly like silk chiffon. So it's so amazing, and it's such a feel-good thing to use a fabric like that, where you know what is the thought process that has gone behind it, and that something like this is happening. This is really wonderful, actually.
That's amazing. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, Pankaj. And a big thank you to Mr. Sharma for joining us. I'm now going to open the floor to questions. I'd request all the attendees to please submit the questions in the Q&A box below or request access to speak to the panelists. So we already have questions. This is for Mr. Sharma. This is R-Elan's second association with the label Pankaj and Nidhi at LFW. How is it different from the previous times?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, the earlier connection, in fact, which was done the previous edition, was artfluence. And this time, the emphasis has been towards feeling good, towards positivity. And this collection, this actually exudes a lot of that. So what you got to see today was, much more to do with being well, being positive, and overcoming these turbulent times. And I think this is how this collection is different from what it was earlier. So earlier collection was a wonderful set wherein that was very high on fashion elements, working on all various. So we had R-Elan green gold also being used there. We had R-Elan free flow being used there. And this time the emphasis has been on R-Elan green gold. Along with that, they've used R-Elan Feel Fresh, which is the antimicrobial type. And they've also, because a lot of emphasis is also on being comfortable this time. So they've used R-Elan Cool Tex, which is basically that is a moisture management product. So that is how this collection is much more evolved from a functionality, from a comfort, and from a wellness perspective as compared to the earlier one.
Right. Mr. Sharma, there's another question for you, asking you to elaborate a little bit more about the fabric green gold.
Sorry?
About the fabric green gold. Could you please elaborate on that?
Okay. Yes, green gold is the sustainable collection of fabrics. This is made with R-Elan green gold fibers and filament yarn, which is using all recycled PET bottles. So we collect PET bottles, convert them into fibers and filament yarn using highly environmentally conscious processes, and we evolve and we make the best quality of fibers and filament yarns out of that. And like Nidhi also mentioned, they actually imitate high quality products like silk, and they basically combine the best of the functionalities and also appeal directly to the fashion conscious customers with a very high sustainability quotient. So that is what R-Elan green gold is all about.
Thank you so much. My next question is for Pankaj and Nidhi. Pankaj, Nidhi, how was your experience working for this virtual fashion show?
I want to say something about this. Firstly, we were so happy to come back to our design studio and have a collection to make. This was such a wonderful feeling. I cannot express that how much you miss work when you are not at it, when you're not doing what you're good at, what you want to do, and you're just locked that, no, you cannot go to work, sorry, stay at home. I mean, I know the circumstances, it is a sensitive subject, but I'm just saying as a designer, that's how we felt that when we had this deadline, this project, this show to do, it was so good for us. It made us feel so positive and so good that we are back in our design house. We are back to what we like to do. Our creative juices are flowing and we want to make this optimistic collection. And the whole process has been completely different, of course. And if all meetings have been happening on Zoom, as everyone has seen, and even the fittings have happened long distance. We got 2 models in our office in Delhi, and our stylists are seeing everything, discussing everything on Zoom with us. It's completely different, but I have to admit that the feeling, butterflies in the stomach feeling, was exactly the same. Before the show begins, that 10 minutes feeling was exactly the same. So that shows that it's all good, and I'm very positive that something great is going to come out of this. And the amazing thing is that first time we have actually done see now buy now. So that is the amazing thing that came out of this whole new digital fashion week, that we are actually ready. Our website is completely ready, and our product can be bought right now. That is something amazing that has happened. So I'm very kicked with that.
Amazing. That's amazing, Nidhi. So there's another question for you both again. How do you help when it comes to design? How do you help each other? How do you translate your ideas into a collection?
We are, I think Pankaj is very modest, but Pankaj, go ahead. But I think we have a brilliant relationship at work, because we are both designers. That's what we enjoy. We met also each other in a design studio. We were co-workers before we became husband and wife. So this is a brilliant, it just flows. Like, our designers will take something to me and will ask me, do you want to change something about this garment? And I'll give two inputs, and I'll say, but still you ask Pankaj also. And he will also say exactly those two things. So our aesthetics, our common foundation is very similar. We like similar things. And I think, we add that versatile thing in our collection. The Pankaj is really good at certain things. And I, being a woman, I really feel for what a woman would like to wear. I'm very practical, and I want to make very chic, elegant, and comfortable clothes. I like fashion, but I want fashion to also be practical. So that aspect, I think, I lent to the brand. Please.
No, I'm fortunate to have Nidhi as a partner in life and at work, and I guess that has helped our brand become what it has today. Aside from us, and it's also our teams who I want to give credit to. We are nothing without our teams who work with our stylists day and night, remotely now and on site somewhat. And so I just want to give a shout out to say thanks to them, and to all the workers who have braved these difficult times to be there and get the business going. As Nidhi said, R-Elan, Lakmé Fashion Week, these were like such happy sounds and voices to hear on the phone that, oh, wow, that's going to be another fashion week. How amazing. R-Elan wants to collaborate again. How wonderful. We know the fabric. We work with them. So it gave our factory a great boost, and gave us a lot of sense of joy and purpose. And grateful to R-Elan and Lakmé Fashion Week.
Right. Thank you so much. There's another question for you guys. How was it different, creating this fashion film this time, since we are going virtual this time? How is it different from a physical actual ramp?
Yeah, as Nidhi said, a lot of it, Prachi, happened remotely. Our choreographer and our stylist were super hands-on. We had many pre-meetings before the actual event. The clothes were made, and as they were being made, each look was being discussed on a daily basis. Pictures, mood boards were being exchanged. Models were called into our studio with safe distancing, and photographs and videos were being shared. The clothes eventually got packed in a box and were sent, many boxes, were sent to Bombay, and they were videographed beautifully. And the whole videography was live streamed to us. I mean, how amazing is that as an organization, to be able to be involved digitally and to work with each other remotely. So it was just a fantastic experience. And look, none of us knew how this would work. Nobody had the answers a few months back. It's absolutely just remarkable how IMG Reliance and Lakmé Fashion Week have pulled this off. And it's just incredible to be here. So we hope everybody enjoyed the result. And as Gunjan sir was saying that, it's amazing to see what you've done with the fabrics, and it's very exciting to see the creativity out there. And as Nidhi also said, that we're hoping it brings great positive changes for us at home and for everyone who decides to buy this collection.
Could you also touch upon your design philosophy, Pankaj, Nidhi?
Our design philosophy is to perhaps just be original, remain true to quality, and also try and do something new. And it really greatly excites us when we have something exciting to work with. And I'm not saying it because Gunjan sir is listening, but R-Elan fabrics, green gold, really was a revelation to us. How amazing that plastic bottles that we discard sometimes so mindlessly are collected, sourced ethically, and into this most beautiful yarn. I don't know how they do it technologically. I would love to go and see the factory one day when the lockdown allows us to be able to visit the factories where these yarns are made. But the fact that it can get turned into something as exciting as that makes us really super excited and charged. And I think that a design philosophy gets a real shot in the arm, a real boost.
Right. Also, do you think virtual is the way to go now as the future of fashion in India, given the pandemic?
I want to jump and say yes, and but I also have to admit that I feel like a little bit like I miss the excitement of being in an amphitheater. I mean, in a big hall with all my friends, our supporters, our fans, to be able to meet people, to see the models physically. I'd be lying if I said that I don't miss that, and I hope in the future that that comes around again. But this is definitely something very game changing that's happening right now. There were a couple of hundred people who would come to see the show, and then it would, the message would get disseminated by digital means later. And then here, it's all happening at the same time. Everyone's suddenly watching it only live. It's quite democratic in that sense, and it's live streamed to a global audience. So how incredible is that? And I think it might be a fantastic format and might just be here to stay longer than we think.
Right, thank you. Lastly, I have a question for Mr. Sharma. What's next for R-Elan? Is there anything exciting in the works?
Oh, well, yes. R-Elan stands for Fabric 2.0. So this is the fabric for the next generation. And, we are continuously evolving ourselves. There is a lot of research that we do in developing various kinds of fibers and filament yarn. There are three main areas that we've been working on continuously. So the three main pillars for R-Elan are sustainability, uh, performance, and aesthetics. So we are working on all three of them, and you'll get to see, various changes that we will bring, and various improvements that we'll continuously keep on bringing in various kind of offerings that we will have. So you'll get to see and hear a lot about, all.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. Thank you all for joining us. For more information on the showcase, don't forget to visit the gallery at the LFW Virtual Hub. We'll see you soon again. Until then, thank you and see you soon.
Thank you, Prachi.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Pankaj. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Prachi. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj, Nidhi.